Hi guys, I am so mad. I just did a video and this has happened to me before where only a minute of it has recorded. So it's almost like they don't want me to talk to you. And it just so let's see if I can do this the second time and hope it's as good as the first one. So anyways, here I am in this big house that I rented while we build, and we're going to talk about totem animals today. And see up here, these were left here from my landlord. He's a big hunter, so these are not mine, okay? So they are not mine, and they asked if they could leave them here while they finish their house. This is mine. That is Unicorn's Power of Three. That's a painting that I've done. It's a very large painting. I did that when I was writing Dragon Horse. There was a lot of unicorn symbology in that story. And over here, let's see, right there, that's my Indonesian prince. He's really tall, and he has a bow and arrow, and he's standing on like a big lotus blossom. See, he's standing next to my armoire, and that armoire is like, what, 7 feet tall? So you can see how big it is. So anyways, those are not mine, okay? But anyways, power animals. I wanted to start out today with power animals. And I wanted to give you guys a really cool, for instance, with power animals, because power animals are something that each of us carry, and you know, it's an animal that we imbue their wisdom, their attributes, you know, for whatever it is we came into this world to experience. Power animals like our archetype, you know, how are we, what is it we came in this world to do and experience and learn? You know, whatever. So it coincides with this animal. If I want to be a famous runner, my power animal might be a gazelle or a cheetah or something like that. Anybody watch that show, Grimm? It's on regular TV. I think this is the final season. And it's these characters. There's like humans, and then there's these other characters that can shapeshift into animals. They call it Vogue. And it's kind of interesting because these people that are not totally human that can change into an animal, their human form is the archetype of the animal form. You know, somebody that turns into a mouse when they're in their animal form, their human form, they kind of have that nervous little beady eye archetype, persona in their human form. So to get away with what I'm talking about. Okay. So power animal, my power animal, when I started my journey was the Black Panther. And when I started taking my Reiki classes, this power animal, I just was attracted. I just saw Black Panther everywhere, and I've always loved the black cats and the Black Panther. And I always like cats that have the shape of a panther. You know, their face is the shape of a panther. I have a black minx running around here. I think she's finally gone to sleep for the day. But her little face looks like a little panther face. So anyways, I just saw Black Panther everywhere. Well, during my Reiki classes, when I was, you know, becoming a Reiki master, I became really good friends with 2 other women that were taking these classes. And one of the women was half Cherokee, and she was practicing shamanics, and you know, she did all the Native American stuff. She did a lot of workshops, you know, how to make a drum, how to make a rattle, and you know, all this stuff. And so we got to be really, really, really good friends. And she used to go to all these metaphysical fairs, and she would always ask me to come. And she says, "You need to come to these fairs with me, and you need to bring your panther." See, because when she would go to these fairs, she would have all these. She was like a weirdo attraction, even though then I was very shy. She wanted me to come to protect her and bring my panther because these weirdos, these people would flock around her. It was strange. She was just too open. She just didn't know how to, close herself. And so when I would come, the weirdos would kind of not come around her, and they wouldn't just hang around her booth all day long. And I didn't have to do anything but be there. And back then, we just didn't know why. And today, in retrospect, I know why. Because she was too open. She was too welcoming, and she was a little bit out of balance. And so with that panther energy, panther people, they're the ones that go to parties and they stay outside the crowd. They're outside of the room, and by the end of the party, they have everybody figured out. They know who are the liars, and they know who are the truth seekers. And I am just like that. I know who's giving me bullshit, and I know who's telling me the truth. We can see through the dark. We are nocturnal. We can see into the dark. We can see straight into the soul. It's like the owl people. And we're very fierce. We're very quiet. It takes a lot to get us upset. And when you get us upset, we get in. It's fierce. It's fast. We get out, and then we're done with it. We're over. So but also I want to say that Panther people, Panther is also reclaiming your power. And that's exactly what I was doing when I started my journey. I was reclaiming my power. Society had shut me down as I was growing. When I was growing, Denise was always the weirdo. Hello. Raven. Hello, Panther kitty. So, when I was growing up, I was the weirdo. Denise is the weirdo. And, oh, Denise, you never know what Denise is thinking. And, I was the one that was on the outside of the family, always looking in. And so when I got brave enough to start my journey, Panther was everywhere. I was like, this is so strange. I never thought of Panther before until now, and, and it's also, it's weird because when I started my journey, I was so afraid to tell anybody what I knew or what I did, because it's the truth-seeking thing. I was so worried about people looking at me and say, oh, you are so fake and you are so full of shit, and that was so scary that I didn't want anybody to say, you know what you're talking about. So for a long time, I didn't, tell anybody this stuff. But, when you come in with a mission and a job to do, it's hard to keep that suppressed. And so here I am today, amongst other things that I do. So, powering animal, that story, of my beginnings with Panther is one aspect of what the power animal does for you. And I want to tell you about a very important story to just let you know how real and true this is. I believe in this 100%. And my friend who took the Reiki classes with me, who I went to all the fairs with, for the power animal to protect her and keep the weirdos away, she went to a shamanic journey. I mean, not a shamanic journey. She went to soul retrieval. Another friend of ours was a shamanic practitioner, and she was doing soul retrievals. And so she, my friend, when she was young, had cancer. So she had a lot of residual things left over from cancer and the drugs that they pumped her full of. So she decided, let's do a soul retrieval. And, the day of the retrieval, I had totally forgot about it. I didn't even know what time it was that her retrieval was. And about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I just got really, really tired. And I could not keep my eyes open. So I fell asleep on the couch, and I dreamt about my panther, and I dreamt that I was at her soul retrieval. So the next morning, we always talk in the morning, I called her up and I said, what time was your soul retrieval? She said, it was 2 o'clock. She says, I need to talk to you about this. She says, it was crazy. I said, yes, I know it was crazy because I was there. I said, I was there with my panther. She goes, I know. She says, the practitioner said, a panther just came in and it's sitting at your feet. And I said, well, you should have told me what time it was, because if I would have been driving down the road, or it would have been like narcolepsy, I would have fallen asleep behind the wheel. And so, we were just like, that is so bizarre. And we were trying to figure out why that power animal, why I had to be there. And today, in retrospect, it was because when you do any kind of work like that, she's out there retrieving souls. She's got to take her pieces of her souls back from other entities and other things that have taken it and kept it. You're open for outside attachments, outside attacks, entities. We know about all them entities that are out there, the archons, the jinn, the reptilians, what other races that are out there that are feeding the parasites. My panther was there to keep the parasites away from her while she was open. So people, when you figure out what your power animal is, this is so real. I mean, the Native Americans, they know this. The Aboriginals, they know all of this stuff, and they know why. And it's because when we chose to come here on this living planet, before we were blocked, we knew we came to experience a physical life on this physical planet with all of her physicality, all of her natural realms, all of her different animals, all of the elements, earth, air, fire, and water. Crystal is another element, iron, metal. And so we came in and we said, okay, I want to experience this, and I want to be this type of person, so I can do this. So you come in at a certain time in a certain month, and the planets are in a certain alignment. So we are born at the sign of the sun. We have a certain zodiac. I'm a Gemini. And when you learn about Geminis, I am totally a Gemini, because I had certain things that I needed to do. I had to develop my archetype so I could become the person that would help me journey on my journey to become who it is I wanted to be and experience things I needed to experience. The animal, the plant, the mineral realm, the elemental realm, it is all part of that. It is not just the zodiac. It is all of that. It's insurance. It's our insurance policy that we come in with to ensure that we can experience the life we wanted to experience while we're here. So learn what your power animal is. If you cannot figure it out for yourself, it is not that hard. Have somebody do a journey for you. I had somebody do a power animal journey for me, and it was the elk. And I never saw elk around me anywhere. No, it wasn't the elk. It was the caribou. Oh, you're from the north. Yes, I guess I am from the north, but it just did not have anything to do with anything that was going on or anything that's going on with my life. It was the panther. And because I figured it out for myself. So what follows you? What are you attracted to? Look at who you are, what kind of lifestyle you live. What are you interested in? What are you connected to? What animal, plant, and mineral is symbolic of that? Figure that out. And it has much more meaning when you figure it out for yourself. Okay, so I wanted to get into animism. Animism is all part of that. The pagans believe, as the Native Americans, all the indigenous cultures, look at how they live. Everybody wants to be a gypsy. Everybody wants to live the gypsy lifestyle, forgetting what they had to go through because they challenged the dark side. Look at them today. They didn't have anywhere to live. Nobody wanted them and look what the Native Americans went through. I mean, look what happened. The Native Americans believed in animism. They believed that everything was a living being and everything was here to live harmoniously and to work together. And they lived with the buffalo and the plants and they healed themselves with the plants. And they even knew about the stars and the star people. They were so connected to Earth. But guess what? Remember what happens when the white man comes over? You know, uh, what did he do? He had lost his connection. They were lost their connection to Gaia, and they did not believe in animism because they were all in the Christian, the Catholicism, that type of religion, that type of mindset, where they were torn away from the belief that everything had a spirit, everything was alive, and everything here had a reason to be here. And we're all here to work together, not work against. Christianity, Christians, they all think that all the natural realms are here to serve them, which is not true. That is an imbalance. That is an infiltration into their teachings. The dark side infiltrated the Bible. The dark side, we call it the false life. Remember, all of that is infiltrated. The books of the Bible that really had some real meaning were all taken away or either changed. Words were tweaked, so they could program us and get us into this materialistic where I need everything and everything is here for me. I'm not, service to self. None of this service to others. We lost service to others. It's all service to self, which in turn keeps the controllers, the elite, stockpiling up more money than they need. And, we always say, if they could disperse the money, we'd all be millionaires. We'd all have more than millions. But, I'm not into that. I don't care about money. Yes, I care because I need to pay my bills and, I got to pay my taxes. I don't go to jail and all that crap, all that dark crap to keep us enslaved. But I don't care about having the latest car and, okay, so let's get further into nature is here to serve us. Those who raise horses, those who raise animals for food, the racehorses, the thoroughbreds and the quarter horses. Those are two breeds that are the horses. Those are the two biggest breeds that end up at slaughter. Why? Because they're here to serve us. I am breeding the fastest racehorse so I can win the Triple Crown. I don't care how many horses I breed, and I don't care how many I send to slaughter. I want that Triple Crown winner, quarter horse. I have to have the fastest quarter horse and the best roping horse to yeehaw, rope them cows so I can brand them cows and so I can eat them cows. Quarter horse, one of the top breeds that end up in slaughter. Breed for that top horse. They don't care what happens to them after they breed them. It's all of that. We are programmed to believe that they're there to serve us when it's not. When we realize that we're here for each other, service to others. We're here to live on this planet in exchange from each other. That is all part of enlightenment. That is all part of ascension. When we finally come to that realization. Veganism. I mean, the hugest growing movement right now. We are realizing that all these animals, they're not here to serve us. They're here to work with us. We are in this together. We are not in duality. And so recognizing that just makes our journey so much more joyful, so easier, so less stressful. I mean, our desire for things, our desire to possess, it all causes us pain and stress in the end. It's like everybody, I'm a horsewoman. You read about it in my books. The horse is another totem of mine. The horse teaches a journey of journey of the cycle of life and death, and I've dealt with helping so many animals cross over, and I've learned about the cycle of life and death. And the horse is also about traveling, and it's not getting on the airplane and going to another country. It's about inner travel, inner growth, going to these other realities other than the realities that they just want us to believe. And man, oh man, have I been to so many other realities. And so I wanted to talk about that today. You know, how animism is, they want us to no longer be part of Gaia. She is our ticket to enlightenment. She is our ticket to ascension. And they want us to have that cut off. That is why BP has so many oil spills. Ever think why? Because they know Gaia is a living being, and they know that she is the way and she can help us. So as long as they can attack her natural realms, fracking, oil spills, keeping the whales and the dolphins and the, you know, the sea creatures sick and unhealthy, so they cannot work with us harmoniously, keep Gaia sick because she can't work with us harmoniously. It's all that dark agenda, it's all that programming, it's all them to keep us where they want us. It's all about them keeping us believing what they want us to believe. That false light, remember the false light? That's why we have to discern everything. That's why we have to go in and we have to learn about everything ourselves. You know, a lot of what I have to say, you will not get and you will not resonate with. That's fine. You know, my beliefs change too. But as long as we're moving forward, as long as we're moving closer to service to others, in the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, this planet is all about service to others. And what do we do in return? We don't care. We take and don't give back. We take because it is here for us. And I don't believe in animism. I am above nature. Nature is here for me. And as long as we believe that, we will have to deal with Gaia's cleansing. I mean, her natural disasters are her cleansing. We too have to cleanse. You know, we get sick in the spring, we get sick in the fall. Why? That's the natural time for us to cleanse and get ready for the next season. She has to do the same thing. And the more we live in service to self, the more toxins we create on her, and the more natural disasters, the more she has to cleanse. The cyclones, the hurricanes, the drenching rains, the earthquakes, the floods. And if you get caught into this, it can be to an extreme. You can die in this. You have to understand and you have to realize, if you're not living on this planet in service to others, you could very well get caught up into a hurricane, a tornado. You could be caught up into a landslide. You know, so I've had a lot of close calls. I've been in a lot of hurricanes. I've been through the flooding, the 2013 flooding in the Denver area coming out, you know, through the Big Thompson River. My daughter had a wedding that weekend, and where she was living, that whole area flooded, and we weren't able to get there. It like stopped. Everything was closed off before we could get there. But my point being is, totem animals, animism, power animals, it all goes with your connection to this planet, and it's all teaching you how to live harmoniously, how to live in service to others. I just lost my train of thought. I was on a big rant here. So you have to realize that when you see animals that you're attracted to, you want to learn why. You want to learn the magic of that animal, and things inside will start to click. You know, things will start to awaken. And Kyle, I have a block. They're blocking me. Damn it! Stop it. Okay. So so you know, it's all about living. It's all about how we're living on this planet. We are all part of this planet. We are all one. The Native Americans have a saying, Metakuyasin. What does that mean? Metakuyasin. What does that mean? It means all my brothers and sisters, all my relations, we are all one. And it means the plant realm, it means the mineral realm, it means the elemental realm. So I am an herbalist, so what are my power plants? What are the plants that I kept going back to wanting to learn about? What are the plants I kept growing? What are the plants I would go to when I go into the nursery? What are the plants, it was rosemary, lavender, and the rose. And so I believe that I can use those three plants. Those three plants are my power plants. And there's a lot of magic in those three plants. A lot of protection, a lot of healing, a lot of love, all service to others. So I use those three plants, I grow them and I use them, and I also exchange the blood. I prick my finger and I put blood on them. And that's how we all should do this, because that's how, when we're working with the plant realm, it's a frequency. They carry a frequency. And if you want to grow them to heal yourself or to open up yourself, your pineal gland, your third eye, more knowledge, they need to know what your blocks are. They need to know what your frequency is. So by dropping drops of blood on them, they take in your frequency and they learn all about you by that. They go, aha, this is where she has her blockages. This is where she's imbalanced. This is where she needs healing. We are going to adjust our frequency to help her. And in turn, she's going to love me and nourish me and water me and keep me safe and cover me in the winter. Service to others, the give and take. Remember, I talked about that before. So in turn, they give me so much. They have helped me so much. And I make vinegars and oils and herbs, healing herbs with them. And I give most of it away because I am service to others. I am not connected to that materialistic thing where I am not going to do this unless somebody pays me in return. I know that if I do this willingly and give it, I will always be cared for. Gaia will always care for me. And I have no worries. And so the same thing with the crystals. You learn with your crystals. You sit with your crystals. I use the Lemurian seed crystal because I'm all about Lemuria. I am not about Atlantis. And that's another one of my rants. All this stuff about Atlantis. Atlantis was the dark. They were the people that went astray and caused the duality. And the Lemurians were the ones, the positive ones that were coming in saying, hey, let's work together. You guys are really going off. You're really imbalanced here. We need to work. Oh, Atlantis was like, no way, we're not doing that. Screw you. And so Lemurians, they had to go underground. They had to go away to a different dimension to get away from the Atlanteans. And then what happened? Gaia had to cleanse herself. Get rid of them. And then they went underground. And so look what's happening to us today. So I have this Lemurian seed crystal. And you can do the same thing with your crystals. What is your power crystal? What crystal is the one that you can't ever put down? What is the one that you always, what's your go-to crystal? My Lemurian crystal I sleep with. It's under my pillow. So you have to figure out what your power crystal is and learn what the magic is and talk to that crystal, connect with that spirit being in that crystal. So power animals, anamism, totem animals. We can all have more than our totems. It's not just animals. It could be 3 animals. It could be a certain crystal. It could be an element, elements. I am a air. I'm Gemini, so I'm an air sign. And I also have fire as my power animal. I can start a fire with a log and a one tissue because I've learned how to communicate with the two of them. I've learned how to work together with them. and I learned how to get the air to work with the fire and start, the wood to start the fire. A fire is always alive, whether you see it or not. I got a fireplace. My husband is earth and water. He has the hardest time starting a fire. He needs paper. He needs a torch. He needs all this kindling because he is a earth and a water. His fire's always going out. I work with the two elements. I worked with water once, and we ended up getting 22 inches. We had a 22-inch snowstorm. So I'm not a water girl. So if you need water, don't come to me. If you need to cleanse and you need warmth, I'm your girl. So your totem can be, your power animal is not your totem. Your power animal is what's with you all the time. Your totems can come and go depending on what it is you need to learn and what is next in your next chapter of learning. So your totem can have the different animals, birds, plants, elements, minerals, your crystals. So, I just wanted to tell you why people want to know what their animal is. And it doesn't mean you have to have eagle, and it doesn't mean you have to have wolf, and you have to have badger, and a badger claw right here. This is my bear. That's one of my totems sometimes, and this is badger claw. When I was at the metaphysical fairs, one of the fairs that I used to do, this woman made these beautiful necklaces, and to me this, I don't know. She looked like Freya, one of the Norse goddesses, with badger, and badgers just so determined, and they live in the earth, and it was just like, oh, this is for me. I have to have this, So, how much fun is that, guys? I mean, get out there. Don't sit in your house. Don't be disconnected from Gaia and the natural realms because you're sitting in your house, with all of its concrete and all of its electronics and wiring, and you have to have, code says you have to have a outlet every 3 feet, and code says you have to have all of this insulation, and code says this, and code says that. And why do you think codes? We build houses. Why do you think we have to have all these codes? It has nothing to do with sustainability. It has everything to do with keeping us disconnected from Gaia. Remember earthing. Everybody's earthing. Everybody's turning off their main power grid at night. Everybody's building with natural materials. Everybody's going outside during the day, meditating on the ground, barefoot, walking in nature. They're getting out of their cages. Our homes are nothing but our cages. Think about it, people. Think about it. So, I don't know if this second recording was better than the first one, and I hope I'm still recording. Okay, we'll see what happens. But anyway, so it all goes together. When you take everything and put it together and come down to the one simple meaning, it is service to others. We are here to live harmoniously, and we grow when we are in service to others. We don't need, if we were all in service to others, we wouldn't need the materialistic crap. We wouldn't care that the neighbor had a brand new car. Oh, I got to go out and run it. I got to get a better car. We wouldn't care about that. When you disconnect from that, that is a sign of ascension and enlightenment. Now remember, it's infinite. How much we can grow is infinite. We don't even have a clue right now how high we can go. We're just working towards the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension. I'm already in the fourth, working into the fifth, because I have disconnected from the material world. I have disconnected from the need to eat animal protein. Yes, I am eating plant protein right now. But remember, Gaia, that grows out of her. Right now, she is giving that to us because she understands our evolution. She knows that once we get to the 5th and 6th dimension, we will learn and change our bodies and no longer need to eat the plants. So you people who are going, it was such a cop-out, it just pisses me off when people say, oh, I eat plants. Oh, plants scream when you eat them. You lost the point, people. It's about evolution. It's about changing this physical body, and it takes time. You know, oh, I hate lettuce. I hate lettuce too. I don't eat lettuce. There are so many other foods out there. Here we go, ranting again. So it is the growth. It's the awakening. It's going, I don't need that. I no longer need that. I no longer need that. I see through that. The false light, the false light. Throw away those books. Throw away your Bibles. It's all infiltrated. You need to listen to you. You need to listen to what's in your heart and discern. And you need to break away from that fear mongering. Oh, the God is just, you know, the God will smite you. My goddess will not do that. You know, we have to learn on our own, and she just watches us as we learn and grow. And she waits for us to step another rung higher in that ladder, closer back to her. So, I guess that's it for me today, guys. I could just go on and on. And so anyway, like I said, you have to start going within and do your own research. You know, you don't have to believe everything that I say. Our beliefs do change. As we grow, they will change. My beliefs will change. You know, I can't wait to learn the next thing. I can't wait. So anyways, we'll talk to you later, guys. Service to others. Let's remember that.